put my medal on. Whose blood to spill, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. Two armies are coming at me. Their flags and weapons look the same. One tells the truth, the other's lying. And they're both calling my name. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. Ooh, no one ever starts that way. But this is how villains are made. Time to put my medal on. Whose neck to cut, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. There lies my sanity. There goes my mind, I could not say. I don't trust what I see right in front of me. I don't know who to betray. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. So easily we're persuaded. When the lines of blood are faded, no one ever starts that way. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend. She's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutor said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. Undeniable.
I feel kind of Robish right now.
Which Rob?
Our Rob.
Okay. Why?
I got audio issues with my fucking headphones. I know it sounds good. I know the stream sounds good. We never fucked that up.
You are what they say you are.
So welcome to another episode of the NewsBrief. Today's Monday, November 3rd. It is 11:48 p.m. I am joined by my gracious hosts, hosts. You guys are hosts.
Okay.
I didn't mean to demean you guys.
It was
as employees. I know that's a sensitive subject for you. My business partners. That doesn't really. We don't bring in very much money, so we're poor at it.
I want to say thank you because I appreciate the reminder that I need to once again look in the mirror and analyze what the fuck I'm doing with my life. So thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. My beautiful host, Barry and Patty. Barry, how's it going today?
I thought Kim was in the room when you said beautiful, but I'll take it. I appreciate it. Happy to be here.
I think she's joining us in a little bit.
Well, I was just assuming you were talking to the chick, but I'm glad that you think
you
I'm
don't
beautiful.
have a screen.
What the fuck?
Fuck. I usually give you my laptop.
Yeah, well, that's okay. But, we're not the March of Dimes around here. That's why you should go to 1776.shop and buy our T-shirts.
Buy our T-shirts so we could continue to shit post on the internet.
Yeah, and you'll really offend the left with every single purchase.
Damn right. Patty, what's up?
Barry, what's your favorite T-shirt?
Like
on the site?
in general or on the site?
On the site. What's your favorite T-shirt
He's gonna
that
say.
these motherfuckers
He's gonna
can
say
buy?
something.
I think
He's gonna say something he prints.
I think that I think I know where you're going with this, and I believe that you're going to assume it's the one that I'm wearing now because it's exquisitely beautiful and very absolutely right. But I would say my favorite one is the Kill Marxism one.
Kill Marxism.
I think this is the time where you tell me I don't know what Marxism is.
Yeah, well, I think we've established that, but we'll move on. So, Enrique, let's get into it.
Actually, you know what? Let me segue into that. You bring a awesome point here. I'm trying to find a tweet. Let me see on their latest. Maybe it comes up. Oh, fuck.
In the meantime, can we talk about how cool this hoodie is? Like, this is a Star Trek.
You lost me at Star Trek.
You don't like Star Trek?
I absolutely do not like Star Trek.
Star Trek is really like, look, even for a nerd like me, Star Trek is a bit much.
Yeah, it's.
Really?
I mean,
you don't like Star Trek?
No,
if you're
I think it was
overly
like
boring and not going to amount to anything in life
It's a
besides
poor,
an
underfunded
old
Star Wars.
grumpy boomer, then Star
So
Trek. is
what's if you're into? Are you into any kind of I don't know. You're not.
What?
Well, let me shed some light on this. I only watched Star Wars, the whole series, for the first time in my prison cell at Alexandria. At 30,
I did that too.
40 years old, 38 years old, or something like that.
Right. I'm not really into Star Wars. Okay.
You're a fucking Trekkie?
Yeah.
That's like, isn't that like the GoBots of fucking Star Wars?
No,
too?
it's like the low budget, shitty version.
the GoBots
with horrible comedy.
Yeah.
Let's get into this before we start losing some viewers.
And the fact that they haven't tuned out yet, kudos to you because I'm already gone.
Okay.
And I'm actually I'm so happy that a lot of people stay tuned into the war stream. When we play video games. But that's usually at night. It's a younger crowd. Today in the morning, we're talking about more serious things. You talked about Marxism and your favorite shirt being against Marxists. So the title of this, and I actually tagged him on it, has to do with James Lindsay, Insurrection Barbie, and Officer Tatum, right? Look, I've met Officer Tatum a couple times. He's a cool dude. I haven't met any of the other two, but I'm just judging them by their posts. Maybe they're cool people offline. But he did something the other day that kind of triggered me, right? And he goes ahead and he calls Tim Pool a Marxist. And look,
Who said that?
There's James Lindsay. He has an account.
Oh,
It's,
that-
James Lindsay, anti-communist, right? Decides to call Tim Pool Marxist, and I'm like, wait a sec. This isn't just about. This all stems from one thing. It was a Tucker and Fuentes interview, which I still have not had the chance to.
It's great.
Watch it.
It's great. It's a good interview.
And then what you see is it morphing into something that we recognize a lot, you know. And no matter how much they say it, because now they're getting blowback for calling for censorship. They should be taken off the internet. They should be deplatformed, and in some cases, they should be demonetized. And look, I can't tell you that I agree with Tucker 100% of the time. I don't agree with anybody 100% of the time. I don't agree with Nick Fuentes. I don't like Nick Fuentes as a person. I don't like him. Do I believe he should be fucking silenced? Absolutely fucking not. I believe that everybody should have a voice and nobody should push for censorship. So it isn't like an anti-Israel thing for me. I've said this millions of times on this show. Israel is not my beat. It's not something I focus on. I focus on making better men. That's like my lane, right? So I've been called this whole week from both sides, whether I'm calling out James Lindsay, this insurrection Barbie person, which she has an interesting background, and Officer Tatum, right? And there's a couple others. I even I made a tweet at Laura Loomer. It starts getting to a point where it's too much. And then you start calling for censorship. I'm 100% against all of that. And you could I have all three of their X accounts pulled up. You could search for the past 6 months, right? And it just started happening really, really, really 6 months ago, where every single post is about Israel. It's a pro-Israel thing. And I think it's just as cringe as being like anti-Israel the entire time. They're both the fucking same. To the point where like they're pushing this pro-Muslim agenda, or they're pushing this pro-Jew agenda. Like it's not American. I'm sorry. We have our own culture and we don't advocate for foreign nations. It's pretty fucking simple. And it again, it gets to a point where it's too much. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, Barry.
I have a little bit.
So just your take on this.
Well, see, I did not know who Nick Fuentes was until I was in prison and Kanye brought him to Trump's house for breakfast, and the interwebs in the media lit up with complaints about it.
Was it breakfast or dinner? Because
who knows?
There's more of a personal thing with breakfast.
Yeah, whatever. He was there, and the internet flipped to shit. So then I got to learn who Nick Fuentes was. I've only lived through him through clips and things, and I have been a victim of it myself. I'm sure you have, where people take things out of context. So I watched most of the Candace Owens interview with Fuentes, and I watched the entire Tucker interview with Fuentes. And one thing I took from what he was saying was that pretty much cancel culture, in his opinion, by way of the Jews, created him. They shut him down, they shut him up, and he only got stronger. And I think my question is,
Rob, I just noticed Rob's in. Rob, let yourself in when you're ready.
What I'd like to know in question is when on the right did it become a thing to bastardize real journalism every time it happens? Why are we mad at Tucker for sitting down? I see my liberal friend that called Tucker Carlson a traitor to the United States for having an interview with Putin. The last time I checked, journalists' job were to do interviews. So when did it become a common norm to say you're a bad person doing an interview?
All right, so wait,
stupid.
Let me.
I mean, Dan Rather interviewed Saddam Hussein. So
Exactly.
Let me push back. Let me push back, and I'm not pushing back on my personal beliefs. I'm pushing back because this is the argument.
Sure.
The argument is that Tucker didn't push Nick Fuentes enough as a journalist. He didn't push Nick Fuentes enough. And I think that's, again, I haven't seen the whole thing. By the clips that I've seen, I don't think that's true. So Tucker always leaves things, for the public to, he asks him about the issue with, and it's funny that he says it, that what radicalized him wasn't like some Nazi right winger. It was Mark Levin, right? Which is one of the biggest problems. I haven't mentioned him, but he's one of the biggest problems here. And I'll tell you why in a second. Rob, it's nice to have you back. I don't know if you've been catching up, but we're talking about this little civil war thing that we have going on between the pro-Israel right and the anti-Israel right.
They're both gay.
Exactly. Rob gets it. So, Rob, give me your insight on that.
Well, first of all, James Lindsay's a fag.
I'm with it.
So there's very few people that I have like the utmost respect for on X or as far as the podcasting goes, and Colonel Rob Maness is one of them. I actually I think it was this spring. I was hosting his space forum when he had Lindsay on as a guest, and everything that he said was diametrically opposed to any conservative values that I have ever heard in my life. And I had a conversation with the Colonel about it after the show on the space. And this whole woke right thing that he's calling out is directed at guys like you and I, even Patty and Barry. I mean, anyway, that
I think Patty got a little bit of it yesterday.
Huh?
I think Patty got a little bit of it yesterday.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
okay.
anybody who questions anything. Like if you're not in lockstep with what the Republicans or the actual right is supposed to do, then you're woke right, or you're anti-MAGA, or you're this, or you're that. If you question the Israeli government for the nefarious bullshit that they pull, you're now anti-Semitic, and this is coming from our side, and it's fucking bullshit.
It is, and it sounds familiar. That's why I'm pushing so hard against it. Patty, your take.
Yeah, I think Rob's exactly right about that. The reason that we cannot have a reasonable conversation about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is that we have people in this country who have decided that you have to take one side or the other, or you're an anti-Semite, or you're a terrorist. This is not reasonable. And if you have to sit there and take one of those other positions, well, we're going to be idiots for the rest of our lives. And I think that we all understand that. I think Rob understands that. I think we all here understand that, right?
I completely understand it, and to the point of it, right? Like you could be pro-Israel and not be pro-foreign, like foreign influence, right?
The Palestinian, the Israeli government is not the Israeli people, and the Israeli government is not the Israel of the Bible. So if you're a Christian and you believe that God bless the Israeli people, okay, that's fine. I get you, but
Reno, give me a thumbs up when you're ready.
You don't have to believe that every single thing the Israeli government does is correct, and that's just not that doesn't need to be that way.
So I've been
anything correct.
I've been called this week. I've been called out by both sides, which makes me happy. I've been called an anti-Semite by the actual woke right, because that's what woke is, right? Like fucking identity politics, fucking sitting here, and because I stand with Tucker, suddenly I'm like pro Qatar, I'm pro fucking like Islam, I'm pro all this shit. I'm anti all of that, and then I'm not anti-Jew or anti-Israeli enough for the $7,000 crowd, right? And somebody that I have the utmost respect for, because he always kind of brings in, no matter if you like him or you don't, he always kind of brings in like this middle ground view is Cernovich, right? I'm going to go ahead and pump him on the screen right now. Give me 1 second. Let me full screen it. So Cerno says there's a lot of bad faith going on. So this is for you, those few of you that are those. Fuck, I'm all fucked up today. There's a lot of bad faith going on. So this is for those of you perplexed about the reluctance of MAGA people to ever disavow anyone. We are old and know it never stops. They will always demand more. Hence, we draw a hard line. It's not our job to be internet cops. If you don't like what Tucker has to say, fucking keep scrolling, right?
Brilliant.
And it is okay to criticize. Look, listen, if you want to criticize Tucker and you want to criticize Nick Fuentes, I might join you. Maybe a lot less Tucker. I might join you in criticizing them, but you're not calling for them to be criticized. You're calling them to be deplatformed, right? And I'm going to say this, and I'll jump into one of you guys now. When you go ahead and you start calling for the demonetization, the deplatforming, like Mark Levin did, I'm about to pull up the video, right? They're telling you, and a lot of them are telling you, we need to excommunicate these people from the MAGA movement. We need to deplatform them and excommunicate them from where?
They already did that. Nick Fuentes claims, and I think it has been substantiated, that he was on the fucking no-fly list. They took him off of every financial Jewish-owned platform that he could possibly. What? It was a sneeze, right? Did I say that out loud? Fuck, we're canceled. Anyway, the guy was completely smashed to the ground, and he still rose from the ashes. You could say what you want about him and hate him. I don't agree with everything I've heard him say, but I don't know the context, and I'm not going to just rule him out because some fucking left-wingers or some right-wingers say to.
The most prominent, right, anti-Semitic accounts on Twitter and that have done the worst damage to Israel. That's why I don't think they're getting these. People put the $7,000 fucking things at the bottom of their thing. These posts are too stupid, right, and too retarded, to pay $7,000 for. Like, I would imagine that Mossad and the Israeli government is a lot smarter than this. They wouldn't pay these retards that. And I think you want to. The way to radicalize people is get people like Jim Lindsay, Insurrection Barbie, Mark Levin, and Brandon Tatum. Have them keep doing what they're doing. Gen Z is not pro-Israel.
I don't
understand.
understand.
And there's a reason for it, right? You need to, if it's a battlefield and you're looking at it objectively, are you furthering your cause? Right. And I want to get.
Came home from school and asked me about this. He's Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me about.
I'm going to come off screen a second. Rob, can you take over producing?
The Great Depression, World War I, and World War II.
Rob, sorry to cut you off. Can you take over producing really quick? Because I think you're the only one that has. Give me 1 second. I got to come off screen.
You're still on screen.
Yeah, no, I have to leave it on because his mic. That's how his mic works.
Yeah.
So he's like, Dad, what is the deal with the Jews? I said, Bud, listen, man, what are they teaching you? And surprisingly enough, it was very very factual about what was going on in Germany and Poland at the time. And he obviously, since he is Gen Z, he's got access to like Instagram and stuff like that, but he's got very limited access because I try to, be on top of him. And he's asking me questions about this because all these questions are coming up, and he's like, none of this seems right to me, Dad. Like everything that I'm learning in school and everything that I'm seeing everywhere, he goes, there's a lot of things that just don't add up. And he goes, how do you feel about Israel and America? And I said, well, I think the government of Israel has way too much power and way too much control and way too much money in our government. And that's on both sides. And he goes, yeah, he goes, it doesn't make sense to me, Dad. You know, even kids in his class. I mean, it's surprisingly unwoke what they're teaching him in school, but it just seems like they're trying to get back to, you know, facts. And, you know, he asked me straight out, and I, you know, obviously we're going to go, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but he goes, Dad, I'm told that there wasn't even 6 million Jews that were in Germany at the time. This is what he said to me. Like, I'm not, and I said, dude, there's a lot of people that say that there weren't 6 million Jews in Germany and Poland at the time. And there weren't even 6 million people there to begin with. So, and, you know, I don't know, man. He's, it's good to see them asking questions. You know, we were taught one thing, you know, us Gen X, we were taught one thing throughout our lives. And then, you know, millennials, which you guys are, you know, we're taught pretty much probably the same thing. And then, you know, Gen Z's asking questions, and it's just because of, you know, the information that's out there right now. And listen, you know, the history is written by the victor. We all know this. And, you know, I wasn't alive then. I can only go by what I read and dive into, but I don't know. There's a lot of questions surrounding a lot of things. And, you know, when my son comes to me and asks me these questions, it actually makes me have hope for the generation that's coming up, because I think millennials are cooked.
I do agree. Let me ask you: has anybody have heard of this guy? This I don't know how to pronounce his name. Tina Shea Peter. Some Tanashi. I don't know. It's some influencer here on X, and he's a black conservative dude, and he is really upset about Tucker's interview with Fuentes, and he claims he is leaving the Conservative Party if this is going to be the new face of the Conservative Party. He ain't with it.
He's gay too.
Yeah, I mean, he has
I've
a
seen
nose
lot
ring,
of that.
and it's so pathetic that people that you know, people on the right will even remotely go there. To me, it just seems like a huge fucking op of division.
Barry, what do you think?
I don't
What
think
is conservatism to you?
What is conservatism? I would say a belief in a devotion to minimal government, lower taxes. When you vote that way and you elect officials that way, that's what you put for more freedom from to the people. I believe that there's definitely a Christian aspect to conservatism that should remain involved in that, but mainly less taxes and a more transparent government, smaller government.
Reno, when you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Okay.
Spending more conservative with spending tax dollars.
So,
and see, here's the thing though: conservative values or constitutional conservatives. Because my son was asking me yesterday about this too. I had taken him and a bunch of people out on the range, and I said, I'm not really a Republican. I don't identify as Republican. I vote Republican because they are more closely aligned with my conservative values. But a constitutional conservative, in my eyes, is vastly different than a Republican, because to me, Republicans and Democrats are two sides of the same coin. They only care about themselves. They don't give a shit about real, true, patriots.
Well, Rob, what's the difference then? Can you explain to me the difference between, kind of a squishy Republican and Democrat? Like, what's the difference?
I don't think there is any difference, to be quite honest with you. This is why, but as far as, so I vote Republican because at least Republicans are more closely aligned with the Second Amendment for me. And that's the linchpin for me, is the Second Amendment when it comes to, why I vote Republican, because we get less intrusive and subversive laws around the Second Amendment when there's a Republican. Other than that, I don't align with Republicans, because Republicans still want fucking taxes. Republicans,
they've
about power, money, and clout for them. And it's the same thing with the Democratic Party. I don't identify, and I honestly have never identified with either. And I honestly don't think that Trump's a Republican either.
I agree
100%.
So here's another thing: the word Republican. it kind of gets weaponized onto who's using it, right? So like words are meaningless, ideology is everything. And there is this new right? And this new right started really in 2016, right? The party has been transformed. And I think because of that, what we're seeing is more that America First movement, where we've been the world police for so long. We've kind of like pushed our economy to the brink, which we're still at the brink right now. I don't think I'm a Republican. I don't think Trump's a Republican. I don't think that anybody on this panel is a Republican per se. But if you look at what the new right is, that's the party that we are with. We have transformed, that we should take it for ourselves because that's what we are. That's what we've built, right? And all these people like Mark Levin, and the people that I've continuously mentioned, most of these people were anti-Trump before. The Barbie chick, she just started coming around the scene in 22.
What would you
right?
call Mark Levin? What would you call Mark Levin? How would you categorize?
I would say he's a
really
Bush.
chill.
He's a Bush Republican, right?
Yeah, I think
and then on
that's
top of that,
exactly
I
right.
think he goes beyond even George Bush, because what we're seeing
He's a
is like,
neocon.
He's a neocon globalist.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that 100%.
you got to take a look
Yep.
at you got to have, and Jose says it. You got to have common sense, right? You could look at individual topics. I could be like, look, I disagree with Tucker. I haven't seen the interview, so I can't say whether he didn't go far enough or he didn't or he went too far. I can't say that. But one thing I can tell you is the reason why I say I'm Team Tucker is because I'm Team anti-censorship. Period. You know what? Let me full screen myself a second.
You do that.
When you have gone through what I went through from 2016, where they take your social media to try to kill your voice, and they see that doesn't work. When they go after your banking platforms and your financial platforms like PayPal or Cash App to try to definance you, right? Debank you, and they see that doesn't work, then they lock you down, and then they steal an election, right? You kind of get you kind of understand where I'm coming from. You know how hard it is to keep the shop up just on credit card processing? I'm fucking broke right now. I'm usually a very good producer in the home, right? Because I'm able to start businesses and make them successful. And now I'm just having a hard time because of the censorship, right? So those people that are out there that have never been censored, right? You have no place to talk about fucking deplatforming people because you don't know what that is, right? Why are voices like Nick Fuentes so prominent? Because he's banned on everything. I mean, all he has really is a fucking X account, right?
It's not doesn't he have a blue check?
He doesn't even have a blue. Exactly. He doesn't even have a blue check. I don't know what his following is, but it has to be massive. So as a strategy, like how do you reach those people? How do you reach Gen Z? If you're pro-Israel and you want to bring those people back into your tent, how do you bring them in? Right? It's not by deplatforming. We see that doesn't fucking work. Look, me for an example, I don't say anything different than any other conservative in the biz. I don't say nothing special. I don't fucking say things a certain way. Do I cuss a little bit more? Not as much as Rob, but like I don't say things differently, right? I think it's a cuss off. Let's see who can cuss more.
I think
Rob wins. Rob wins. Rob wins.
No, I think I could.
Fuck that, Patty. Shut the fuck up. Rob wins.
Yes.
But the thing about
Listen
it
to me,
is-
you cunt lick motherfucker. Like
You fucking limp dick fag fucker.
So like they've created this by deplatforming me. They've created a monster out of the Proud Boys by deplatforming us. right?
I almost feel like we're obligated to have some kind of kinship towards fucking Fuentes, whether we like him or not, because of this demand to cancel him.
What's crazy is they're making me side with Fuentes on this issue.
I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just ridiculous. You want to be a constitutionalist. You want to back to Patty's original question. I think the Constitution and upholding its meaning is part of being a conservative, and the First Amendment right should be dear, even when you don't agree with it. It used to be dear to the liberals back when the ACLU actually protected the freedom of speech of neo-Nazis to march through fucking Chicago. And that was not that I agree. Not that I agree. Not that I agree with them, but I do agree with their First Amendment right, and I give kudos to the ACLU at that time for doing what the Constitution says. Of course, they've turned into another Marxist regime institution, but I digress.
I'll tell you guys that I went to the original, or it was the second America First, whatever the fuck jerk off fest that they had down in West Palm, and so Nick Fuentes had this whole thing, and this was probably the best. And look, I'm a government trained propagandist, right? And I'll tell you, this kid is really good at propaganda. Like, he had a whole walk-up video, and he came out there, and these kids were basically beating their dicks. There were no women there, but I mean, he was a god to these kids, and they were all excited about it. And I watched it. Me and Bobby Pickles, we were sitting there. We were like, "Holy shit!"
Would you say the event was a success?
I would say it was a outrageous success.
That's because there's fucking no women there.
Yeah, there were two broads in the whole fucking place.
Did you show up, Patty? Did you show up to that event that we had in Miami that I hosted, Nick Fuentes and a couple of other people, the Demand Free Speech event in Miami?
Yeah, I did. I did. What was it? 2019?
Yeah, I believe 2019. Yeah, so we hosted an event for Nick Fuentes where it was like a debate thing. It was on stage, and we had to hide. Because of deplatforming, we had to hide the location and kind of change the address and kind of and kind of point people. So a lot of the Groyper army got there early, and I've never met these kids, so I'm the doorman, right? So I open the door and there's like fucking 70 Groypers outside, right? And they all look the same. They all look like they haven't fucking sniffed a pussy. Yeah. They're not even sniffed a pussy on their entire life.
One in real life,
right? Look, and like I sit there, I'm like, God damn, I'm cringing, right? I'm like, damn, how the fuck can he get all these people? And it's because of the deplatforming. I'll tell you one more story. We're at Harry's Bar in DC, and I think it was during like a CPAC or something like that. And Nick brought all the Groypers into Harry's Bar, right? Yeah. And you got
I was there that night too. Yeah.
You were there that night too, right?
Yeah.
So you got Cassandra Fairbanks, a good friend of mine.
I talked to that night. Yep.
And she's a woman, and then there's I have to say that I'm trying to respect Cassandra, but there was cleavage, right?
Yeah, and got big tits. It's not a big deal.
What's the other one? Mindy Robinson's there, and she always has her tits out.
Then yelling at everyone for looking at them.
So like these two women, these two women are walking back and forth through the bar, and these guys are glued to their Nintendo Switch. We're at a bar. It's 11:30 at night. And these dudes, they're like having a LAN party on a Nintendo Switch, and like they walk by, they don't even look at them. I'm like, God, like
good for them though.
The Proud Boys are there talking to anything with a hole in it.
Because they're on a mission.
Sorry, my wife came home. I gotta close the door.
Groypers
of course, you're talking about tits. You better close the door.
They have two holes, the mouth and the asshole.
What'd you say, Rob?
I said most of those Proud Boys wouldn't have a problem talking to something that only has two fucking holes instead of three.
Yeah, they don't. Exactly. So like our guys are in there like a fucking bunch of degenerates fucking trying to like bang everything that walks. So Like, look. I disagree
Actually,
with Nick. I
I
don't
think you should
want
be
him deep.
disavowed and thrown out of the club if you're banging trannies.
I agree.
I'm
I
not
mean,
saying actually.
we'd probably lose half the club.
Half the
You know what? Call the fucking herd, then, my friend. Call the fucking herd.
So what ends up
Allow faggots in the fucking club. All right, there's got to be a line. If you're a tranny fucker, you got to go.
look, I don't want Nick deplatformed, not for the same reason like other conservatives. They're like, oh, you need to shine light on him and disinfectant. I don't, out of principle, I don't want Nick Fuentes deplatformed. I don't want people like fucking Mark Levin deplatformed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and he said something along the lines of like podcasters with your little podcasts and your radio shows and your TV shows. You think you could change the world? You can't. Yes, we could.
Because us, the Zionists, will take you down.
Well, that's the thing, man, is that deplatforming somebody, you know, I mean, that takes away their voice and makes them more popular. It's better not to deplatform them and let them say all the stupid shit they want to say. That way it shines light on how stupid they are.
100%. And that is why we have First Amendment. Open debate. If you can crush Nick Fuentes, you can deplatform him forever by winning debates and making him look stupid. But what comes to mind is that nobody's willing to do that.
No.
They just want to. So now you got all these little Groyper kids that are like, well, what does this kid have to say? You're telling me not to listen to him. That's the first thing. If I ever want my kid not to do something, I'm going to go tell him to do it.
Yeah. And that's exactly what's happening.
That doesn't fucking work. Trust me. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work, bro.
I mean, the thing about it is, though, I mean, like, why would you want to debate Nick Fuentes? Dude, I'm not going to debate a 3'7" incel that's going to fucking destroy me in a debate. There's just no way.
I think they won't debate him because they're scared. And I don't care who you are. You may not agree with everything he has to say, but Tucker Carlson has done a lot of good things for whatever movement you want to be a part of, conservative, America First, Republican. He has done a lot of great journalistic breakthroughs in his career, and I commend him. So,
Rob,
Enrique, you got to watch that video. You got to watch that interview, dude, because Tucker did fucking call him out on the mat a couple of times and made him look very, very, very small on some stupid shit. So, I mean, if people just, instead of just taking the random couple of sound bites where the two of them agreed on something and you actually watch the whole interview.
You've got to watch the whole
so let me go ahead. Rob,
mainstream media.
Rob, can you grab the controls full screen my screen really quick? Not me personally, my and let me know when you're up. I want to play this 1 minute clip of Mark Levin.
We're good.
Okay, here we go.
Hitler admirers, Stalin admirers, Jew haters, American haters, Churchill haters. You're damn right we're going to cancel them and deplatform them. It's called the market system. They don't have a lifetime job like a bureaucrat who we're going to protect.
Like a bureaucrat.
And if they're your friend, there's something wrong with you.
Oh.
No Hitler admirer, Holocaust denier, platformer should be anybody's friend, as a matter of fact. You don't get to wrap your psychotic, mental, unhinged, Nazi, Klan, jihadist bullshit around American patriotism.
You fucking asshole.
You don't get to claim you're MAGA and America First when you're lining up with the Marxists and the Islamists and Hamas and the terrorists. That's not America First. That's sick.
What if we don't align with either one of them?
That's.
What if we tell the fucking Jews and the fucking Muslims to?
What if we remember where America first came from?
Where are you? Wait, hold on. You weren't
asshole.
you weren't on screen. Nobody heard that. What did you say, Rob?
I said, what if we told the fucking Muslims and the fucking Jews to go fucking pound sand? They could eat a fat bag of fucking dicks. Where are we then?
Yeah. Look, as long I don't care what religion you are, as long as you're a contributor to Western civilization, I'm fine with it. But the problem that we're having now is, and you heard him say it, right? If you're friends with these people, right? And look,
Dude, listen, James Lindsay thinks the Proud Boys are fucking woke, right? You know that, right? He actually said that.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that piece of shit calling me whatever the fuck he wants.
Woke, right?
I actually, you know what? I might put it on the wall.
He is.
I might put it on the wall. Just
woke Reich.
Yeah. So look, go ahead, guys. Take over the show while I'm searching through some of this guy's posts.
This is what's supposed to be done in pre-production there, fucko.
Yeah.
No, we do it live.
Not
we do
only
it
that,
right.
not only that, but if you listen to what he says, I hear this term "America First," "America First," "America First" thrown around. If you've ever watched Nick Fuentes, he is America First. He is the America First. So they use the America First label against Nick Fuentes, who is coined the term America First
Hey,
recently.
pump my screen up, Rob, please.
Yeah.
Tell me when it's up. Oh wait, yeah, this screen.
It's short. Can I read that, please? Can I
Yes.
just read that in my voice?
Yeah, go ahead.
The term woke right is really strong because it short circuits the dialectic. Sorry. The woke left needs a reactionary faction it could point to and say, see, and demonize playoff. Proud Boys, alt-right, fascists, Nazis, but they can't with woke right because they're both woke. There's nothing about the Proud Boys that are fucking woke. Idiot. What?
Listen, Israel's worth a state worth defending, dude.
Here's a second tweet. Simplest way is to give it names that exclude its friendlier faces and give the left the opportunity to post up dialectically against it, like they did with the alt-right fascist Nazi Proud Boys and Christian nationalists.
Notice how he's got Proud Boys in bold both times.
Well, no, and bold is because I'm searching for it, but
all right.
Yeah.
What the fucking asshole.
and like, look, and then the leaders of this movement that are pushing for censorship. These guys weren't Trumpers, right? You got Ben Shapiro that's spearheading this with Mark Levin. What's the common denominator in both of them? They were both anti-Trump, and all these people that you see that are like, Tucker's not MAGA. You haven't been MAGA, right? You haven't sat here and gone through what we went through. Nobody tries to cancel you guys because you're not effective and you're not conservative. There's nothing conservative about fucking censorship. Nobody gives a fuck about you. If this was a battlefield, I used this analogy the other day. Andrew Tate used this. Like on the battlefield, if they see like Mark Levin and fucking and Ben Shapiro, the machine gunner is not going to go for them. They're not the threat. They're going to go for like the Proud Boys. They're going to go for people that have been effective doing this. People like Cernovich. People like Tucker.
No,
right?
People like Tim Pool.
People
They
that,
went
that
for- No,
like
that's
what?
bullshit.
Tim Pool.
That's
Tim Pool.
bullshit. No, that's bullshit. I got banned on YouTube and I got banned on Facebook and I got banned on Twitter because I supported you guys.
well, because
Patty,
you're-
it's not it.
I'd say
got-
Patty is more effective than Mark Levin.
Sure, but you got banned because nobody likes you, Patty. That's not.
That's true.
That may also be true. But what I'm saying is I got banned because
nigga
I
says
supported
may.
you guys.
Well, Patty, on a serious note, to your point, I was reading a thread the other day, and you were actually arguing with me and someone else, a conservative, and somebody from the left jumped on and made fun of you for you could fool the chuds, but you can't fool us real lib, Patty. Like you get shit on from both sides. I've seen it, so
Yes,
congratulations.
Put that back on the screen.
It's like Catholics and Orthodox like arguing about everything, and then like a Southern Baptist jumps in, and then fucking the Catholic and the Orthodox both jump on the Baptist guy.
Yeah, well, because Patty can sit down and have a conversation with us, he's a Nazi too.
Yeah.
So I want to address this comment that's down here. Mark Levin, Nick, and Ben Shapiro are assets of Mossad. TPUSA is asset for Israel, not for America. So I kind of want to disagree with that. Back to my original point. I don't think that Mark Levin, Nick, and Ben Shapiro are agents of Mossad because, look, Mossad is an intelligence agency with a very, very good think tank, right? And they know that these people, like promoting these people and giving them money is is anti-Israel. They're seeing it. You want to see how good this war that James Lindsay and Insurrection Barbie and Brandon Tatum's working? Go through their comment section. Let me know if they're changing minds. Go through the comment section and the entire comment section. That's why they're pushing back so much, right? Is because they're just shitting on. They're just ratioing them nonstop. You're not changing minds. Actually, as a matter of fact, you are changing minds, but the opposite way. They're like, oh, we won this culture war. We're going to deplatform you. From what? What are you going to deplatform us off of? Right? And I go back to this. I don't agree with Nick Fuentes. I don't agree with Tucker most of the time. A small amount of the time. But you're committing you're doing the opposite, right? And you're belittling a very, very impressive intelligence agency that can fucking ship phones into their enemies' hands and blow them the fuck up.
If Mossad really didn't like what you were posting, they just blow your computer up.
Yeah. And there's a lot of Charlie. So this all stems also from Charlie Kirk. Everybody wants to be on the side of Charlie Kirk and the TPUSA. TPUSA, look, you want to know what Mark Levin just said? That you shouldn't be friends with these people, right? With these people. So is he talking about Charlie Kirk? Because Charlie Kirk refused to deplatform Tucker Carlson. As a matter of fact, he platformed him, and TPUSA platformed him because it's important, right? So what Mark Levin is saying is that Charlie Kirk is part of this coalition of this woke right, okay? And nothing can be less accurate. Charlie Kirk was for free speech, right? Whether you disagreed with him or not, that's why he was such a great person and such a person that we cannot replace. We can't replace him because he did something that nobody could do. Ben Shapiro cannot do what Charlie Kirk did. Mark Levin cannot do that. Nick Fuentes cannot do that. Nick Fuentes has his lane. Mark Levin has his lane, which is consistent of old people that sit and listen to AM radio, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
What's the difference between Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro?
What's the difference?
No, I'm asking Enrique. What's the difference between Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro?
In what sense? Because that's a pretty broad politically.
Yeah.
I think you could say, I mean, I guess politically he's not this new
Kirk
right.
doesn't have Asperger's.
He doesn't support this new right, because we've seen him time and time and again
No, but I mean,
be anti-Trump. And then
what are we talking
when it comes to foreign policy, we did start seeing a different Charlie Kirk. I know that there was two competing messages that he did give, like a pro-Israel message, but he was also against foreign lobbying, right? A lot of people, you could say both things because they're both true, right? On his own show, he was saying it. He's like, the Israel lobby is too strong, right? And he got shit for it 48 hours before he got shot, right? And he also said, hey, I'm pro-Israel. He also wrote a letter to Bibi Netanyahu 24 hours before he passed away. So there's like this conflicting report, but I think at the end of the day, you could focus on one thing that Charlie Kirk, you could say, is that he's against the foreign lobby, right?
Okay. Sure.
I don't. I was going to say IPOC Barbie, but that's probably true. I don't know why. That was just natural. So she said something that was actually I agreed with the other day. She's like, "Oh, if you guys want to put IPOC on fucking the FARA fucking list, then why don't we put Qatar on fucking the FARA list? Why don't we put all these Muslim influencers?" I'm like, yeah, please put them all on the fucking FARA. Because look, if you're America first, you got to be fucking America first. Period. There's no exceptions.
Dude, there is
It
no
doesn't
more
matter.
America first. It's America only.
Yeah.
So real quick about Insurrection Barbie, funny story. When I got released into the halfway house and the pardons came through, the halfway house was refusing to release me. And Insurrection Barbie got wind of it and made a post and tagged my name in it. Within like 5 hours, the entire administration of the halfway house was like, "Get your shit and get out of here now. Our phones will not stop ringing."
What? Who did that?
Insurrection Barbie. Yeah, she posted my name and where I was at, and people started calling to demand my release from the halfway house. And
look, and she was a big advocate for J6ers, right? But in this case, like it's nonstop. Like you can go. I'm going through her timeline. Give me my screen up, please. Let me know. It's just I have to change screens, so it's a pain in the ass to jump. Let me know when I'm up.
You're up.
Okay, so this is Insurrection Barbie. So we're going to go through here. The James Lindsay post, Candace Owens, No Groypers, Ben Shapiro, Dinesh D'Souza, which I love him to pieces. I think he's wrong here. And then quoting Misfit Patriot over here, Brendan Dealey, nonstop. It's just pro-Israel posting non-fucking stop, right? Tucker, Christian, Jewish. Here we go. Look, I agree with her on this fucking on this dude right here. You know, when you talk about Muslims, you have to be able to say, because there is a huge problem with fucking getting these Muslim socialists. And you know what? New York deserves whatever they're going to get.
Do you want to talk about this? You want to talk about this election?
Yeah, we could talk about it today. I really don't want to go over about an hour and 10 minutes. Me and Barry got a lot of shit to do. But we could keep the stream rolling if you guys want.
By we, he means him.
What?
Yeah.
Also, Enrique, never don't forget that, on March 4th, 2016, Ben Shapiro wrote on the Daily Wire, he wrote an opinion article that said, "I will never vote for Donald Trump, and here's why."
Yes. Yep. And Mark Levin did the same exact thing. He even championed on top of that if Donald Trump in 2016 were to win the nomination, that he'd campaign against them and tell people to stay home and vote. If we had the world that Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro wanted in 2016, in 2020, and in 2024, we'd be fucked. We'd have Hillary Clinton for 8 years and probably like an almost dead Biden right after her. Yep. So,
we would have got Kamala.
No, they would have been stupid enough because he wasn't in the limelight at the time. They would have been stupid enough to run fucking Joe Biden again. They'd be like, he's the oldest guy, but he's the most. There's nothing wrong with him. Yeah. Which then actually you'd be right, Rob, because then probably a year or two into his fucking term, he would have fucking croaked and we would have had Kamala Harris.
Did you get that article I sent you in the chat?
Yeah. So go ahead, Patty. Go. I always confuse you and Patty because it's like the same kind of structure in your name.
There's a fucking line.
Patty and Barry.
And I think you just crossed it.
That's it.
You're done, sir. I mean, it's not really.
That's an idiot. It's pretty foul.
Okay, Patty, if you want to lead with the mayor race.
What's going to happen on Tuesday is you're going to lose. You're going to have to suck it up, deal with it. That's what's going to happen. He's going to win.
Oh, he's going to win.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure of that.
And in Virginia.
You think Spanberg's going to win?
Spanberger's going to win.
I haven't been looking at that race, but Spanberg winning, I think, is probably more concerning than...
No, in New Jersey, you're going to lose as well. So you just have to get over the fact that you
are we going to get all those election results by when? All three of those?
But by midnight. I mean, it's not going to be
Tonight?
you're gonna get your tank kicked, and you just have to accept it. That's what's going to happen.
Listen.
I think I've already accepted.
I mean, I think it's a fair analysis. I'm not really.
Yeah, I think I've already accepted the fact that. But as Enrique said, they deserve it. They deserve exactly they get.
Deserve what
You're
they
both
get.
100% right. If I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. It's like Winston Churchill said, "That which is falling should be pushed."
I don't think that was Churchill.
I think it's Churchill. I'm pretty sure it's Churchill.
Don't
I think
Google that.
It's
Probably.
definitely Churchill. It's Churchill.
wouldn't
Sounds
Google-
like
I
Churchill.
wouldn't
Sounds like
Google that
something
at
he
all.
would.
I don't think
I
it
think some-
matters, but you know.
I think
Rob
something
from the
Churchill
free
said.
state of New Hampshire.
That sounds so funny.
That's so fucking gay.
Rob from the free state of New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
What's your outlook on all three of these elections?
They're all fucked. They're all fucked. And that was Nietzsche, by the way.
What's
Mary.
Spamberg polling
Nietzsche.
at
Yes,
right
Nietzsche.
now?
All right. I'll go with that. My Nietzsche.
I'm gonna look up.
I think that the Virginia race, it's Winsome Sears, right? That
Yeah.
is running against me. She's fucking awesome. And, you know, Virginia's really gonna fuck themselves. I think Winsome Sears would be a great governor. And listen, I grew up in New York, and I despise everything about New York City now. I didn't when I was growing up. It was a vastly different place in the 80s than it is now. And but I do fondly remember meeting, the Guardian Angels. I remember meeting Sliwa when I was a kid. And for all the shit talk, the guy's passion about that city is unlike anybody else's. He loves that city. He wants to see that city be the great city that it once was, because it's not the great city that it once was. And anybody that tells you is fucking lying. And I believe in my heart that he would be a great fucking mayor. Look, he doesn't have the political acumen that most of these polished politicians have. There's no denying that. But at the same time, his love for that city should make him, just on that alone, should make him the mayor of New York, and what he would do and how he would be able to transform that city. New Jersey, listen, Chitterelli, there's a lot of things about Chitterelli I don't like, but he would be a much better governor. And I mean, listen, New Jersey follows along the same lines, as far as New York and the most of New England when it comes to like Second Amendment and stuff like that. And the people in New Jersey need a fucking break. And if they don't vote for Chitterelli, they're fucking screwed. And it looks like this is what's going to happen. I mean, I think the New Jersey race, I don't know too much about what's going on in Virginia as far as the two of them and how the polls are going. But as far as New Jersey goes, Chitterelli has a chance. I think
I got it.
Out of all of the three that we're talking about, I think that New Jersey is the one that's still Mets a Mets, as the Italians would say.
So, breaking news: the Trump administration. Give me my screen, please.
Yeah.
It's a headline from NBC News. I'll read it out while you guys are.
Oh, it's got to be true.
The Trump administration begins detailed planning for a new mission to send U.S. troops and intelligence officers into Mexico to target drug cartels, according to two U.S. officials and two former senior U.S. officials familiar with the effort. It actually, I think that there's a little bit more going on with this. Rapid report. Leading report is also U.S. Homeland Security News is President Trump is preparing a new operation in Mexico to target narco-terrorist cartels. So granted, I want to give my opinion on this really quick, and I don't want to stay on this too long because it is just coming through. I am not an anti-interventionist, right? I think
You're an anti what?
I don't want military intervention into other countries, but there is an exception to that rule, and that exception is on the Western Hemisphere, right? these drug cartels need to be taken down. And if Mexico isn't doing it, I am all for fucking drone striking.
Well, I
these
mean,
motherfuckers.
dude, you got a Mexican Jew that's running the country who's in the pockets of the cartels.
Yeah. So if she refuses to do anything, I'll give my full-throated support into doing this. This is a real problem in the United States. What happens over there in the Middle East might be like a foreign policy issue, and it's very nuanced. Here in the Western Hemisphere, it's very simple. The drugs coming through the border, which originate in China, are a big problem because people are actually fucking dying, right? The Venezuela thing of the bombing of the boats, I don't know, and I haven't been able to find out if there's fentanyl coming through. I think it's just cocaine. But it could be fentanyl. You know, that one I'm open to some type of argument, even though I support it, again, full-throated support of it. But the southern border is a huge fucking issue, and sex trafficking and human trafficking through the border is a huge issue. So I endorse fucking bombing the shit out of Mexican cartels. And they are too powerful.
Because what will definitely happen is that if cartels can't get, heroin to America, people in America will stop doing heroin.
I'm not saying that they won't. I am not saying that they won't, but we need to.
Well,
how many deaths?
That's
How
the
many
stupidest
deaths are?
fucking argument?
How
Seriously,
many
man,
deaths?
that's the dumbest thing I've ever
If you were
heard
to
in my
go
life.
get Patty, if you were to go get heroin right now in Boston, where do you think that heroin comes from?
It's not
It
heroin
doesn't come
anymore,
from
dude. It's all
fucking-
fentanyl.
It doesn't come from Fall River, but it gets to Fall River, and I know where to fucking get it.
We know.
No,
you
no,
know.
I know. Well, I know you know where to get
You
it.
take one look at you and realize that.
But it comes from Mexico.
What I'm saying is, yeah. So what? Like, this is a stupid argument. Like, it really is a dumb argument.
The drug war. You know why the drug war has failed? Because it focuses here internally.
Well, no,
instead
it
of
focused on
being
the end
focused
user and not
externally.
it focused more on
Yes.
the end user than it did
Yes.
the fucking the producers.
And
Yes.
real quick, on a serious note, we had an opportunity after World War II to end heroin addiction in America. It was almost obsolete. People couldn't afford it, and we had pretty much shut down everything. And that's where the realistic sense that the CIA did put it back into our
Yes.
streets, because they did.
They
But
did.
we had an opportunity after World War II to end heroin once and for all, and we did not. We kept the drug war going. But to Enrique's point, it is over the border. That is where the problem starts.
where the problem starts.
And no matter how upset we
It's
get
the
about
demand.
fucking, no matter how upset we
demand.
get about Coke boats being blown up, well, nobody will be as
I'm not
upset as
upset
Hunter
about
Biden.
Coke boat.
Well,
Yeah, it's the fucking
Enrique,
demand that is the
Can
problem.
I?
Okay, so if you bomb the fucking cartel and bomb their fucking leadership, right? I guarantee you that will slow down in an epic fashion.
And then we can become the cartels and the leaders.
Yeah. Listen,
So-
look, you want to produce heroin or fentanyl within the United States? Go ahead. You're going to get popped.
No more. Listen, man.
Oh, I don't think so.
And this is from experience. Somebody that I loved, past tense, but loved more than any other adult human on this planet, was addicted to fentanyl, and she had said to me at one point that when she started, everything was brown, and then one day it was all white, and that was when the change between heroin and fentanyl. And there's literally no heroin like you think that there is. It's all fentanyl now.
Yeah.
And none of these dealers.
And where's fentanyl produced?
None of these
All the
dealers.
precursors come from
None of
China.
these dealers out of fucking Roxbury, out of fucking Fall River and New Bedford. None of them have actual fucking heroin anymore. Heroin's just not coming over here. It's all fentanyl, dude.
Yeah.
So,
No, I
so
agree.
We can agree that there's
From brown to white, and that was pretty fucking prolific and stuck in my head.
we can all agree that there's of course a drug problem in the United States. Can we not?
Yeah.
Barry, you can agree with that, right?
100%.
No,
So-
well,
so
I
what-
don't think anybody could disagree.
So if not doing this, then what? I hear your critique about it, Barry. But what would be the answer? What would you?
You mean
propose?
Patty?
You mean
Or
Patty?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
all for
I'm
blowing
sorry,
up
I'm
the
sorry,
fucking boats.
Patty. My bad.
Blow up
Patty,
more.
I'm not the only one with a problem.
Patty, what would your solution be?
My solution would be interdiction. We
Oh, come
talked
on.
about this.
Tell a
recently.
heroin
Social
addict to stop
workers.
doing
It's
heroin.
fucking social workers.
No. Give me a minute. I seriously think the Coast Guard needs to do a whole shitload more than they're doing in drug interdiction. I mean, that's what has to happen.
They're drone striking
yeah.
fucking Venezuelan fucking nationals and
Yeah, but
fucking
you guys,
narco
you
terrorists.
know, like where fentanyl comes from. It comes from China.
Yes.
China's supplying these
Yeah,
cartels
the border.
fentanyl,
Well, hey, look,
and all the
if you
cartels
guys,
is shipping it over here for us, and they're making money
Well-
on it for doing zero production. These
go ahead.
cartels don't have the necessary technology to make fentanyl. Fentanyl comes from China.
right. So our border
These
security
cartels
has
get into the country.
been.
I'll bomb the shit out of fucking China. I
Are
don't
you
give a
pushing
fuck
for
about
border
that.
security, Patty?
Whoa!
Yes, of course I am.
Well, can I make this real quick? One of the
After
tenets
you're
of the
done, let Patty.
one of the
finish.
tenets of the Proud Boys is anti-drug war, ending the drug war.
Oh, you
because we know it's a failed thing. We know it's failed. It's not working. But one of the problems the drug war
Are the Proud Boys
caused-
going to stop?
Can you
killing
please
drugs?
shut your mouth
No,
now?
no.
Shut your whore mouth. So what the problem with the drug war is they started attacking things like ether. Ether was used to make purer, cleaner cocaine. So they started going at the plants making ether. So the cartels, all they did was started using pharmaceutical grade rubbing alcohol to wash their. So they started using cleaners that were bad because they were attacking the cleaners like ether that were good. So it just created worse and worse drugs. That's why you got bath salts, because they started attacking the things to make meth instead of attacking the meth. So people changed the molecules and made a really dangerous alternative to this drug. So the drug war never fucking solved the goddamn problem. It only made drugs worse.
This nigga's a scientist. Patty, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I've seen Barry do bath salts, and I think that nobody should fuck around with that ever. You know, everybody should stay away from that. But look, I think that. I mean, I'm being serious right now. Like, we need to deal with the demand, and the demand is people are addicted to drugs in this country.
You could
Right?
Because liberal cities
Wait.
just let them do it for free and give it to
Okay,
them.
well, hold on a second. Let me finish. I think that what we have to do is figure out what cocaine does to communities, right? And stop that. And if we can stop that, then we do a whole lot of damage, a
But
whole
it's
lot more damage.
Not even cocaine anymore, dude. Like cocaine is nowhere near what it was in the fucking 80s and the 90s. I mean,
You're
cocaine
right. It's
barely
more
exists.
than cocaine. It's cocaine and it's heroin
Cat urine.
and
No,
Cat
it's
urine.
fentanyl is the biggest.
and it's
fucking
bath
problem.
salts and Barry
So-
and
But Patty, you have to
Yeah.
understand that what you're proposing, interdiction, is fine. But as a recovering drug addict, I can tell you that you're not going to stop somebody from doing drugs unless that person wants to stop doing drugs.
Yep.
So, Patty, here's another thing. What you're suggesting is that the most powerful country in the world can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time.
I am suggesting that.
Well, you know what? I agree with you, but but I think what my point here is, yes, look, I agree with you, Patty. And like, let's say I'm the president of the United States. I'd say, you know what? Yeah, you know what? There's an issue. And let's start addressing the demand issue. But let's start addressing the supply issue. And the supply issue should come in the form of a fucking cruise missile.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like
When
I
you kill-
disagree with you completely.
That cartel leader.
Yeah.
I think there's 6 major cartels in northern Mexico.
Right.
If you take out the leadership of all 6 of them, because I think northern Mexico is pretty much one of the biggest issues that we have. If you take out the leadership of those 6 drug cartels. Will there be more people that sprout up? Yeah, well, drone bomb them too. And then you could put together a government program, a government funded program, and I'll be for it. That tries to push, this demand issue that we have, and I don't think it should be a law enforcement issue.
Well, what does
right?
that look like? I mean, that
I
to
don't
me-
know. I don't know. I would defer to people that would actually
The last show I did, I had a gentleman by the name of Chris Feistel on as my guest, and he actually took down the Cali cartel after they rose up when Pablo Escobar was killed, and it was a very very interesting and very informative on how these cartels work. He wrote a book. It's called After Escobar, and he details all the things that he did to bring the Cali cartel down. But after the Cali cartel went down, then two others rose in their place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely cut the head off a snake. And
I mean, you could fix that problem with 3 cruise missiles.
Sure.
You can fix that problem. Oh, 2 more sprout. I am 100% sure that the entire CIA has their entire cartel network mapped out.
Yeah, but you're talking now like the Bush administration talked in 2001. I mean, seriously, I don't want to hear that kind of
I'm
shit.
for it. Just because I don't agree with Bush.
You think that bombs are going to solve it?
I think bombs solve.
I don't think anybody
violence solves issues.
In a cartel like that and deals drugs and kills Americans are human beings anyway. So fuck them.
No,
So
Patty, but what happens?
I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. So go ahead, Reno.
What you make happen by doing that is when you take one out, two spring up. You take those 2 out. You make that position to where nobody wants that position, and eventually that organization will crumble.
You're arguing for whack-a-mole. Like, I mean, that's
where we're at, though.
Same reason why the Proud Boys don't have a national chairman.
Exactly.
And
nobody wants that
I
position.
can whack that mole.
Same reason why Antifa doesn't exist, right?
So with that, let's close out the show. Let's start, Patty. What do you got coming up?
So tomorrow, Tuesday at 7 p.m., I've got a show. As usual, we're going to talk about the gospel. We're going to talk about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And so we're excited about that. And that's what we're going to do.
I feel like now I'm going to go to Barry right now to see what he has, but there's going to be a rebuttal there. But go ahead.
Well, congratulations to Patty and his newfound relationship for the guys he met at the bathhouse, Matthew, Mac, Luke, and John. But I'm sure you guys are going to make a happy couple. Love you all. And, it was fun to be back.
Reno?
Just War Stream, hopefully this week.
I hope this week. I will, and I'll tell you what I'm doing this week. Rob,
I got nothing on the horizon.
Okay. All right. So tomorrow and Wednesday, I will be at a conference. I will try to go live from the conference. So I don't know if I'll be able to make the War Stream. It's possible Wednesday night. We game a little bit. We'll figure that out. I'll call you guys on the War Boys game stream, and we'll figure that out. Other than that, if you want to support the show, you could go to 1776.shop. Barry and Rob have stores there with cool, spicy gear that's made here in-house. I also have a shop there, and if you want to support me personally, subscribe to my Substack. It's noblelead.substack.com. I appreciate you for joining us. Rob, it's good to have you back on the NewsBrief. Thank you guys for watching. And I am ending the broadcast. Oh, no, wait. No, I did that last time. I ended the broadcast.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutor said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are.